I briefly covered a penny stock with a $13 million market cap on Wednesday of last week. And on Thursday, it was up 8%, following the 6% day on Wednesday. And we got a huge cluster of volume recently on the chart for mid-June. Now, this is sitting at a 7% short interest. I covered multiple things that ended up happening with COSM, but I actually think there's a lot more to the picture. In fact, I know there's a lot more to the picture. So without further ado, guys, watch until the end. This is going to be a massive opportunity. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, turn post notifications on. Let's get into it. So first of all, a couple things we covered I'm going to briefly touch on before I talk about everything that actually happened through the month of June with ticker symbol COSM and why we could be early to the party for putting it on your radar. First of all, Cosmos Health announced its board approved a share repurchase program of up to $5 million. Now, to put that into perspective, the market cap is sitting at 11 million. Over the past two runs, it ran all the way up to 13 million over the past couple of days. Now, the authorization runs through December 31st, 2026, so they can buy shares all the way until then. And over the past few weeks, the company also issued a steady stream of bullish press releases. First, there was new pharmaceutical manufacturing contracts, expansions of its U.S. nutraceutical 18 series products with projected annual revenue above 22.7 million, entry into skincare markets, plans to acquire a European pharmaceutical manufacturer, and multiple insider purchases by the CEO. If we disregard all of that I recently covered on Wednesday of last week, by the way, as I'm making this video, the stock is now up 11.6%. Discord already has this play, but this could be very, very, very early. First of all, as they buy back the float, this will shrink the float, right? As they buy back stock, this will shrink the float. This will shrink the supply. This will hurt short sellers. This will also increase volatility. This will make momentum, push the stock, higher percentage gains if you are already in the play before they end up buying back more shares. Now, a quick, easy blip up to 43 cents would put the stock up 91%. And even if we rallied back to $1, that would be up 344%. Now, we were already at $1 in October of 2025. In fact, we were all the way up to $1.32, which is about a 500% gain from here. However, the company is completely different than it was here, and then it was back here. So I am not here to give you a price prediction, but you can see just from a couple of these press releases. This was released May 2026. This was released June 1st. This was released June 2nd. And the way I found these is I'm going through the company's X profile all the way back from throughout June, throughout May, and I'm finding out, holy smokes, what is this company doing? There's a lot of penny stocks that don't do anything. You don't see news for a while. May and June was a killer month. So I'm looking at these. I'm looking at press release, Cosmos enters 69 billion, press release, forward guidance, press release, provides balance sheet, press release, Cosmos Health approximately 20 million, so on and 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 so on, right? You can see all the way up here. This is just for the month of June, right? So here's what I did. I did some digging and I found out exactly what's going on with ticker symbol COSM. Here's everything that happened. Basically, Cosmos Health had one of the biggest months in the company history, in fact, showing that it's about to be a different company. So instead of releasing random news, almost every announcement fit into one bigger plan. And I'm giving you this ahead of time just to save your time. Their bigger plan: make more money, grow the business, reduce dilution, increase shareholder value, and they have a huge bigger picture and long-term growth plan on how to do so. And big money loves strategic plans that are set in place. They don't love uncertainty, they don't love confusion, they don't love dilution, they love money, they love capital, they love plans, right? So first, the company released its goals through 2029, so 3 years out. And this is where things get insane off rip. They are targeting 200 million in annual revenue. This is a $12 million company, okay? 71 million in gross profit, 44 million in adjusted EBITDA. Basically, the management believes the company can become much larger over the next few years if everything goes according to plan. Now, they also entered the animal health market. Cosmos launched a new veterinary disinfectant product after passing European testing. This gives them another business outside of human healthcare, opens up a brand new market, and creates another way to grow revenue. We've seen how big a company like Hims could be. Now just imagine if someone like that had the idea or the nuts to go also into the animal market, right? Seeing if their products were actually good enough and they could grow in a whole nother expanded market. Now, I don't know if Hims is in the animal market, but I don't think so. Now, again, different companies, different topic for another video. this is just a brief comparison that is rolling off the top of my head. Now, the company announced they are also in talks with European Investment Bank for up to 25 million in financing. They removed about 38% of outstanding warrants without issuing more shares, which is great. That means they didn't dilute shareholders when they did that, and it also means less possible dilution in the near term or in the future for shareholders, especially with their turnaround plan and their revenue outlook. Now, this was one of the strongest financial updates of the month. Also, they announced that $5 million share buyback. A couple of reasons why this is big, and I know we already talked about it. Fewer shares mean each remaining share is worth more. Companies usually buy back stock when they believe it's undervalued, and it shows the management has confidence in the business. Now, if all of those didn't already show by the buyback, and by the way, keep in mind, as I'm making this video, I also saw that after I talked about it on Wednesday, they already bought back part of they're already buying back part of the float. So some people were saying they might not even do the buyback though into December. They're already buying. They already bought 500,000 shares on the open market, right? So that's already voided. Now, again, if this doesn't show enough confidence, the CEO is already loading shares. He's buying more and more shares. They expanded their 18 series product. The company is growing its line of health supplements in the United States. Management expects around 22.7 million in yearly sales, very high profit margins, around 75%, which is huge. And this could become one of their most profitable businesses if you really think about it, because a lot of the companies in the space of supplements, especially with these crazy margins, make a lot of money. Now, their manufacturing business is also continuing to grow. Cosmos announced several new manufacturing contracts. That means more products are being made, more reoccurring revenues coming in, better use of their factories, and more consistent income overall. Now, their own products continue growing. Products like C-Scrub and C-Sept continue seeing higher sales. These products are important because they have higher profit margins and they are sold under Cosmos' own brands, and they continue generating reoccurring revenue for the company. Also, a big one, international expansion was announced. And mind you, most of these, if not all of these, pretty much were announced in June. The company signed a new distribution agreement in more countries. One example was expanding into Qatar. The goal is simple: sell products in other countries, reach more customers, and continue growing revenue, right? It's a pretty simple goal. It's a straightforward goal. Now, Cosmo Farm had a record quarter. Their pharmacy distribution business reported over 15 million in quarterly revenue, more than 60 million in annual revenue run rate, and over 80 new pharmacies added. And they're also expanding warehouses and adding automation, which segues us into what they announced with AI. People love the AI announcement. Here's what they're trying to do. They're trying to use AI and automation, which is what every company should be doing, especially smaller companies, because if they don't leverage it, they could get wrecked, right? The small penny stocks who are doing nothing and who don't leverage AI could get wrecked. Now, Cosmos is adding, not only do they have generating revenue like other companies, but they're also adding AI into their company. So they're adding AI and robotics to help run the business. Their goal is basically to reduce costs, improve efficiency, speed up operations, and increase profits over time, which is exactly what you should utilize AI for. Now, they also got more patents. The company continued filing patents for new healthcare technologies. This helps protect future products and gives them more long-term value. And they also have more manufacturing orders. The company said it expects to manufacture more than 25 million units over time, which could be another steady source of profit. If all of those profit streams weren't persuasive, they also got a NASDAQ extension. Now, Cosmos received another 180 days to meet NASDAQ's minimum share price requirement. This means no immediate risk of being removed from NASDAQ and more time for management to execute their plan. Their overall strategy: Cosmos is trying to build several businesses instead of depending on just one. Those businesses include pharmaceuticals, manufacturing, health supplements, veterinary products, medical devices, international sales, AI, and automation. And the idea is that if one area slows down, the others can continue to grow. Now, investors should like the news because they have a clear long-term growth plan, less potential dilution, share buyback program coming into effect, expanding into more markets, growing manufacturing businesses, and international expansion as well. Everything pointed towards growing revenue, increasing profits, expanding into new businesses, reducing dilution, buying back shares, so on and so on and so on, building a strong company into 2029, which doesn't even sound like a penny stock anymore. Now, if we look at the weekly time frame, we could very much so have bottomed out on Cosmos Health. I'm not here to predict that, but again, it's for me to put it on your radar early. Again, this is a sponsored stock. What I did on Wednesday was not sponsored by them. I wanted to secure a sponsor because I saw everything that was going on within the company, and now you have this video up for yourselves. Overall, guys, do your own research and due diligence on everything provided in today's video. I don't give financial advice. I am not a financial advisor. Let me know what you think about Cosmos Health in the comments down below. I love you all. God bless. Lottery Stocks out.